between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. With that, let's get up to Green Bay, Wisconsin. Standing by for the call from venerable Lambeau Field, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
We're at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay, and this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Detroit Lions. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, happy to be with you. And Charles, we've got two teams who know each other extremely well. These division games, they tend to be battles.
People scout like crazy in this league, but no one scouts more than within the division. Because if you win your division, you're automatically in the playoffs. That puts extra emphasis on these games, and they can't wait to get at each other.
Two teams that have met at least twice a year since 1932. The Lions and Packers underway from Lambeau. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford is a big-armed guy who's learned how to temper some of his throws. Actually has added a lot more touch and accuracy as his career has gone along. Big-time confidence in his arm, though. Any throw you want, he can make it.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, here's Stafford. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Tyler Irvin back deep. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
So pinpoint, so accurate. Sometimes we forget just how good he is. We start to take him for granted because he always places the ball exactly where it needs to be for his receivers.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Now Rodgers on the bootleg. And he hits his target, the tight end Lewis. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Quickly now, here's a look at the Green Bay offense.
It's tough to be an offensive lineman in Green Bay because their quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, knows how to keep plays alive and often extends them for 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds. But David Bakhtiari, his left tackle, he does it as well as anyone could ever expect. Excellent footwork. Knows that the plays are going to stay alive for a long time. Often will get 2 or 3 blocks on the same play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Rodgers. And able to find Allen Lazard. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. And officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. He's got a 1st down and then some at midfield. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his own line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Team 18. Here we go.
Now on 2nd and 13, Rodgers, and this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham, and it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 21. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Steps away to his left. And he's going to keep it here. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Blue 58. You're not ready. You're not ready.
Working from the gun. Rodgers. Complete. This is Lewis. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 3 yards is the gain that time. 2nd and goal. And the starting crew defensively for Detroit.
When you talk about pure speed on the corner, you have to talk about Darius Slay, because this guy in high school, 100-meter, 200-meter state champ, he can flat out run. The thing he's looking to increase, takeaways. Only 7 takeaways in his last 4 seasons. He wants to live up to his nickname, which is Big Play Slay.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Here's Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. That time 12 yards on the pass play, but still shy of where they needed to go. 4th and goal.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. So on now for the Packers is their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. They moved the ball pretty well there on the opening drive. You think they're okay settling for 3?
I don't think they're happy about settling for 3, but I think you're exactly right with the word okay, because they threw it well, they ran it well. Excellent balance for the first drive of the game.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 24. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
For the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Throwing is Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Stafford gives to Johnson on the draw. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On second down, Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Give the sack to Blake Martinez.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he will double the space they have to work with as they take it from the 2 to the 4.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room that if you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage.
Check, 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 check.
On second down, it's Jones. So he got free of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 4 yards on the pickup there, as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. And he finds Jimmy Graham. And he will have the 1st down as he's up to his 17-yard line. 2 former All-Pros connecting. Rodgers finding his tight end Graham. Packer 1st down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up.
A first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. The tackle credited to Jamal Agnew.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Tight
Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers. Open man is Allison, complete. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On 2nd down, it's Williams. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Just enough to get the first down there with a 1-yard pickup.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line, well short of the first.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, Everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Three 3-0 after one on EA Sports.
Set, waiting. Check, 42's the mark. What's the curl? What's the curl?
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they're just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. He's going to let this one go deep. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
Wasn't it fun in pregame standing downstairs and watching Matthew Stafford throw the football? I mean, that bad boy just whistled.
He can just rock it.
It just whistled by us, didn't it? But what is the one knock on him? Accuracy.
Yeah.
And that's what we just saw there, an incompletion on that throw downfield.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up fourth down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
Let's go.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Rodgers now on first down. He's got the hook up to Lazard. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Rodgers. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Geronimo Allison, the intended target. And it's 3rd and short.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Got a man, that's Allison. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Packer first down. And they're on 3rd and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handed to the fullback, right? As we evolved, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. The linebacker, Christian Jones, there to make the stop.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Throwing on second down. Rodgers. He's going to air one out. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The ex-Iowa Hawkeye Mike Daniels in for the sack.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Oh, heavy Lion pressure here, and they block it. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. Touchdown, Lions.
Partners, you well know every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So the very rare blocked punt, scooped and returned for a touchdown. What an exciting play. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. Hey, he's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to it.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, That answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go, defense. Our time. Let's win it.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
I think we can safely say that those types of players are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Rodgers going to throw. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Here's J.K. Scott now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Kenny Golladay making his way back onto the field with the rest of this offense. Second quarter here, he has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think, though, he's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, so far, just the single catch. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Out of the gun, Stafford. This one complete to Lacy. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. They'll run it with Johnson. And only able to get 2 here, stopped at the 30.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. A carry now for McKissick. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, Stafford. He'll get this one to Golladay. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Here's McKissick. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Got a man, it's Amendola. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First down Lions on a pickup of 13.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. To throw is Stafford. His throw incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson, and it's 3rd and 4. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 26.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
On first down, Stafford here. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Stafford throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Kenny Galladay is intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Danny Amendola, 26 yards. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle 3rd of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Now Prater to add the PAT. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now it's Rodgers. The connection made. It's Graham. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. This is Jones. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
I can't believe they let you play.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Adams. A gain there of 30 big ones. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well to get a few stops.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now Jones. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the 22, Rodgers. And Graham's got it. Complete. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Packers on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the 1st down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on 3rd down, maybe said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first, this one from 38. The kick by Crosby is good. And a 2nd field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just in a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. They'll run with McKissick. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Johnson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
Come on, we better not.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
To throw on 3rd down, Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Sam Martin now. He's been terrific so far. On the return is Irvin. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Devontae Adams in the Packer offense heading back out. He's been good so far to this point in the second quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the second quarter. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule.
Everyone got four down.
Looking to throw again on second down. Rodgers, wide open receiver, complete. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime.
Set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Rodgers in control as he hurries his guys to the line. Throwing on second and long. Rodgers. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Vanderbilt's own Oren Burks had the tackle defensively. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Rodgers to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
On 2nd down, Williams. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Agnew now to return. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Lions will take over. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford, open man is Galladay, complete. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a 1st?
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Stafford now to throw. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. A good pickup there at 22.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Stafford now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on 1st down. Again, it's Stafford. This is caught, and he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab, and the Lions are able to extend their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Prater on to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-6. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. He'll have a first down past the 40.
Wrap up.
Still moving. And all the way down to the 33-yard line. A big run there by Jones. Give him 42 yards on the ground. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Devon Kennard picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. They'll run it with Jones. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers. And Adams has it complete. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. And at this stage, down in the 2nd half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Let's go, D.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the 2nd half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11.
Here we go, D.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's got to hook up to Lazard. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? They'll try and run it in with Jones. Continuing to fight from... And a second effort gets him in. Touchdown, Packers. Taking it in from a yard out. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 21-17. So that drives 7 plays in length. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. The 20. Touchdown, Detroit. It's a kickoff return of 94 yards, and the Lions are able to extend their lead. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Now Prater to add the PAT. And the lead is up to 15 now. So he took that one at the 6, returned it all the way to the end zone. An electric return it was, 94 yards to the house. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here.
I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He completes it to Jones. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Throwing is Rodgers. And this is going to be incomplete. Geronimo Allison the target there. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
And now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Back out is Matthew Stafford in the Lions offense. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the 1st quarter, good 2nd quarter, and now continuing that here in the 3rd.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. They will run it. It's McKissick. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
3rd quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Stafford. He'll get this one to Galladay. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
A 1st down carry here for Johnson. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And he cuts it right sideline. 34 yards there and a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 yards there and a Lion 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Hey, lady! You don't want nothing. You don't want nothing. Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want nothing.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Johnson's got it complete. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun, and he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
Yellow lady! Yellow lady!
On 1st down, Stafford here. And it's caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kenny Golladay, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Prater for the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a 2nd time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that 2nd score here in the 3rd quarter. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 24.
In your face.
Rodgers now operating from the gun. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down.
That was a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong, he's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on a little bit more.
Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Rodgers. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards, the final tally.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. And he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Well, now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pick up there, 26 yards. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Rodgers now to throw. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Jimmy Graham, 26 yards. And the Packers get a score closer. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. So now Rodgers will lead the Packers up to go for 2. They'll look to run for it with Williams. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Well, partner, since this new two-point rule came into play, offenses spend a lot more time working on it. That means the defenses are doing the exact same thing.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. 15 yards for the Lions there on a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On the toss, here's Johnson. The tackle made by Blake Martinez.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford, and his throw is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, Stafford. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Sam Martin now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And now the Packers get set to go. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at the 20.
Hey, they're scared. They're scared.
Now it's Rodgers. And his throw here is incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 16 and a 1st down for the green and gold. When we see another great performance like this out of Aaron Rodgers, you have to chuckle thinking that his only FBS offer was a walk-on at Illinois.
And now he's the pride of Butte Junior College, of course at Cal. And I remember watching him play at Cal, and he would run 7-on-7 drills. Angry if the ball ever hit the ground, and it didn't do it very often.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. Going for the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 30. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big pickup of 38.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Rodgers to throw once more. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Rodgers to throw again. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. His throw at about the 5. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Partner, they weren't quite in the red zone, but things are starting to get condensed on the field. Throwing the corner route there, really nice play because it gives them a little bit of room to complete it.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And again, it's Rodgers. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
They come out here in the I. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
We got 4. We got 4.
And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away as his guys are able to pull a bit closer. And, boy, that was a heavy set. I think they had 3 tight ends out there. The fullback, you knew what they were going to do.
Yeah, they weren't trying to fool anybody at all, were they? There was none of this show-you-heavy set, bootleg it out. Nah. Big guys up front, hand it to the big guy in the backfield.
So now Rodgers will lead the Packers up to go for 2. Shotgun now for Rodgers. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he powers his way up past the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the 4th quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a 1st.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Check, Mike 42. Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. On 1st down, it's Johnson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now on 2nd and 13. Stafford, open man is Galladay, complete. And he'll take this from one 47-yard line to the other. A gain of 6.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 7. Now it's Stafford, and he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 34-yard line. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. This one complete to Lacey. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. On 2nd down, Johnson. And he stopped immediately there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
A free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle?
So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. James has it. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
2nd down and goal. Stafford, that's complete right around the 8. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Here's Stafford. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. 4th touchdown pass of the game for Matthew Stafford. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Prater on to add the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Yo.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Rodgers, he's got the hook up to Lazard. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
You got him. You got him.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Second down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Open man is Allison, complete. 13 yards, 1st down Packers.
You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
From midfield, here's Rodgers. Open here is Allison. That's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Back to the ground, this time to Jones. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll go again to Jones. And a second effort gets him in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. He's doing his part, but still facing a sizable deficit.
And he would like to do more, but he needs help from the other two-thirds, right? He needs his defense to bow up a little bit, and he also needs special teams to maybe create some big plays and help them get back in it.
Extra point up and good by Crosby, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Kenny Golladay making his way back onto the field with the rest of this offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Yeah, it really has, especially as of late. Looking to throw on second down. Stafford. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch, just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. And he's got Amendola on the connection. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Here's Sam Martin now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their own 18. From the gun, it's Rodgers. It's Williams on the catch. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Rodgers to throw. It's caught here by Adams. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 23 yards the pickup there.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Got a man, that's Allison. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Now they go screen. It's complete. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
Pick me up. Here we go.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. 22 yards there, a first down. So 5 plays on this drive, Charles. All passes, all completions. And just like that, they're in the red zone.
And don't you think the playbook opens up a little bit more now? Because all they've done is throw the football. If you want to run it now, you may very well have them fooled.
They'll run on first down. It's Jones. Man, this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now Rodgers. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. From 17 yards out, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Now Crosby for the point after. And the lead is down to a field goal now. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a Packers touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. After some early struggles running the ball, they've really picked it up. Early it just seemed like there were no holes there. Now all of a sudden the holes seem to be there. I don't know if that's just my imagination.
And give them credit that they kept their confidence, because sometimes when you get stuffed big in the running game early, especially for an entire half, it really makes you retreat a little bit, but not this group. They always have the confidence. If they just get their assignments down, they would get in sync with their runners, and off they went.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Throwing is Stafford. James has got it. Complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait, because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
On 2nd down now, it's Johnson. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. Give him 6 yards in the first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Johnson. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Got to figure the rush is going to be fierce again as they come up 2nd and 13. Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Zadarius Smith with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. You thought we'd see pressure. You weren't kidding.
Yeah, I thought that they'd be very aggressive in that type of a situation, and that's what they call getting home, because home is where the quarterback is.
And where the heart is.
And that heart just got shattered in 1,000 pieces.
So here comes the veteran Matt Prater in a big spot in this ballgame. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So now Rodgers in the pack. Down by 6. 47 seconds remaining. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. Rodgers to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. He's back to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. And if you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback and then make sure you blanket the field.
Back to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Oh, no, he lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And Adams has it complete. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Lambeau.